The spirit does not respect anyone. Even if you have made money, even if you have gained status in your society, the spirit does not care. The spirit or the cosmic consciousness or source energy or quantum field or God, whatever you want to call it, it does not respect you. It simply expresses everything outwards into this three-dimensional world of reality, whatever you have impressed upon it. If you have impressed bad mental imagery and bad negative emotions like resentment, anger, jealousy, competition, frustration into the spirit, it is simply going to express all the terrible circumstances in your reality. The reason why you have panic attacks right now, the reason why you're surrounded with certain negative circumstances right now is because you have impressed bad mental imagery and feelings in your spirit. Now, what is spirit? That is the first question that you must understand. When you are socially conditioned, you view this world as a completely physical universe. In manosphere industry, in alpha male industry, we are taught how social conditioning teaches men in society to be beta males, to be simps, and we just make a villain out of social conditioning. But social conditioning goes beyond just that. It conditions each and every one of us into viewing this world as a physical one. When you view this world as a physical universe, there's a separation between everything. There's a separation between this body and this body. There's a separation between you right now and what you want to experience. And when there's a separation, there's a distance. When there's a distance, you need to hustle, you need to struggle, you need to sweat, you need to bleed, you need to struggle, you need to compete for whatever you desire. And in doing so, you're going to accumulate a lot of negative emotions in your body. You're going to feel emotion of resentment because somebody else is stabbing you in the back while you are trying to achieve a certain goal. You're going to accumulate stress in your body because you just feel a lack of separation from what you desire. You're going to accumulate anger with other people. You're going to accumulate jealousy. You're going to accumulate hatred for some of the people. And the body keeps score of all these kinds of emotions. And one day the body finally explodes. It just explodes into a panic attack, and you're just left scratching your head. Why is this happening to me? I have become a very amazing man. I have money, I have status, but why is panic attack afflicting me? Because your body has finally exploded. It is a warning sign. It is warning you not to view this world as a physical universe. It is telling you to open your eyes and see this world, to see this universe as spiritual. Because there's only one thing in this entire existence, and that is spirit. The spirit, the cosmic consciousness, or quantum field, or God, whatever you want to call it, is the single thing that only exists in this existence, and it has manifested into everything that you can perceive through your five senses or calculate using scientific theories. So this body is a manifestation of spirit. This body is a manifestation of that one spirit. Beyond everything that you can see in this physical world is a background of that one spirit. And that spirit does not respect anyone. It is impersonal. You can communicate with that one spirit. You're always in communication with that one spirit. You're always impressing certain mental imagery, certain feelings in that spirit, and the spirit simply gives out, simply expresses into the outward world of three-dimensional experience whatever you have impressed upon it. If you have impressed bad feelings and bad mental imagery, you're going to get more of those bad feelings and bad mental imagery through negative circumstances in your life, through deteriorating mental health. The reason why I say that you're always in communication with that one spirit is because your subconscious mind is very strongly connected to the spirit. And your subconscious mind just takes everything, just takes snapshot of all the mental experiences, all the mental imagery that creates a certain emotional charge. If in your external reality of experience, you face a certain kind of traumatic situation, you feel certain kind of emotion in your body, you feel traumatized, you feel disgusted, you feel sick, you feel anxious, and your brain, your subconscious mind takes a snapshot of that experience and it is impressed into the subconscious mind. Now your subconscious mind consists of bad mental imagery and bad feelings. Subconscious mind directly communicates with that spirit, and spirit gives out more of the experiences that will impress more negative mental imagery, more negative emotions in your subconscious mind. And it's a vicious cycle. You're always going to be trapped in this cycle of panic and this cycle of anxiety. This is the reason why people never make it out from anxiety and panic attacks. They take years and years and years of therapy and just aimless shooting. They just try so many different things without understanding this one simple fundamental principle of universe. If you just understand this, then you can come out of panic attacks very easily, because I did it too. When I had panic attack, none of this mindset of alpha male actually delivered me from panic attacks, because I had status in my society as a doctor. I had a wonderful career ahead of me, but still I was afflicted with panic attacks. So I had to study about human emotions, power of human mind, consciousness, true essence of religion, spirituality. I read about Eastern mystics, Eastern spiritual gurus. I studied Western spiritual leaders who specifically focus on manifestation aspect of spirituality. And from them, I also understood that feeling is actually the secret of creating every sort of experience in your life. We have been taught, we have been socially conditioned to say that emotion is only for females. Just be logical in your approach towards life. Do not be emotional. But that's not how things work. You are going to be leading your life through emotion no matter what you say. So instead of saying that just discard emotions, just throw away emotions to the bottom of your unconscious mind in your body and store all sorts of negative emotions in your body. Instead, try cultivating positive emotions in your body, and you're going to attract amazing circumstances in your life, including freedom from panic attacks. If you can cultivate elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, confidence before amazing things happen to you in this external reality, then you become a magnet for all sorts of wonderful opportunities, experiences, and situations in your life. If you simply close your eyes right now and sit for 10 minutes, you're going to find that your mind is a storehouse of so many negative emotions and so many negative mental imagery. All these things are making you a magnet for negative circumstances in your life, including the deterioration of mental health, including dry mouth due to sensation of anxiety, including racing thoughts as soon as you wake up in the morning. Your friends and family worry about you because you do not understand that this universe is spiritual and mental, and feeling is the secret of creating the life of your dreams. So, if you want your friends and family to just look at you and just say that, wow, this person changed so fast, he is now the rock of our family, he is just so calm and magnetic all of a sudden. If you want your ex-girlfriend to just look at you and say, wow, he changed and now he's out of my league. If you want all of these wonderful things to happen, you have to embrace the emotional aspect of life. You have to understand that spirit is the only thing in existence. And if you can properly communicate with that one spirit, everything in your life will come to you. You do not have to hustle. You do not have to sweat. You do not have to compete. You do not have to be frustrated in order to gain things in life. Whatever you will desire, whatever you desire in your life will come find you if you just learn how to communicate with that spirit. There are three-step meditation process in order to communicate with that one spirit and gain complete freedom from panic attacks and create the life of your dreams. The first step of this three simple step meditation step is Yoga Nidra. People like Dr. Andrew Huberman have been calling this Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol, but it is just yogic sleep. What you're doing is you're closing your eyes, you're rotating your awareness all over your body until you achieve a state of relaxation. Your body feels very relaxed and your mind is kind of alert. That is when your brain is producing slow, coherent alpha waves and theta waves. I have a link in the description box down below on how to do Yoga Nidra. When your brain is producing slow, coherent alpha waves, your brain will naturally start to create visualization, will naturally start to create imaginal act of wonderful things happening to you. It becomes very easy for you to imagine wonderful things happening to you when your brain is producing alpha waves. When your brain is producing high beta waves, when you're super stressed or anxious, that's not the time to create wonderful things in your life. That's the time to hide. That's the time to survive. That's not the time to dream. So do Yoga Nidra and start to create slow, coherent alpha waves in your brain. And when your brain is producing theta waves under this Yoga Nidra, all the creative imaginal act that you will perform using your conscious mind will go right into your subconscious mind when your brain is producing theta waves. Because in theta waves, the doorway between conscious mind and subconscious mind is wide open. There is an absence of analytical mind. Now, you are just going to accept the imaginal act, believe the imaginal act, and surrender to the imaginal act as if it is the truth when your brain is producing these beautiful, slow, coherent theta waves and alpha waves. So after you do Yoga Nidra for about 13 minutes, what you're going to do is imagine. Imagine an act, imagine a scenario where you're already the person that you desire to be. Imagine that you're already free from panic attacks. Imagine the things that you're going to see, things that you're going to hear, smell, taste, feel after you have become completely free from panic attacks. Provide all the sensory vividness to the imaginal act. Maybe you can imagine that you're walking into a room and you're just taking command of the room, and you can feel in your imaginal act that your breathing rate is really relaxed. You can even take your pulse rate in your imaginal act and find it to be just 70 beats per minute. But if you're an anxious person, if you're afflicted with panic attacks, normally it is about 100 beats per minute. You can imagine that your mouth is now wet all the time, but right now it's probably dry all the time. Imagine that as soon as you wake up in the morning, you have a big smile on your face instead of all these racing thoughts in your mind. And you're saying to yourself, finally, I'm free from panic attacks. Imagine that you're finally becoming able to drink coffee and smell the aroma of coffee again, because right now, maybe you're avoiding coffee. And say to yourself, I can finally drink coffee again because I am free from panic attacks. Maybe right now you're avoiding dating. So start to date in this imaginal act. Start to go on a date with a partner and touch their hair, kiss them, start to smell their perfume. Start to hear your romantic partner say to you, wow, you're so peaceful, you're so calm. Please tell me your secret. How did you manage to be so calm and relaxed and so powerful as a human being? Start to hear your friends and family say to you, wow, you have changed so fast. Start to say to your friends and family, guys, you do not have to worry about me anymore. I have found the secret of changing my life simply by changing my mind. Of course, that sounds very cheesy. You can imagine anything. You can imagine you saying anything to them. But whatever you imagine must signify to your subconscious mind that you have now actually changed, that you have now actually started to live a life where you are no longer afflicted with panic attacks. That's what you must signify to your subconscious mind. And now, the third step is mental rehearsal. Simply mentally rehearse all this imaginary act, all this imaginal act over and over and over again. Because with enough mental rehearsal, the neural network that is formed inside of your brain starts to become hard, set, and permanent. By the way, the neural network that starts to form in your brain starts to reflect like whatever you have imagined is actually happening to you in real time, because your brain is so objective that it cannot differentiate between an imaginal act and a real life experience if you provide all the sensory vividness to your imaginal act. So start to take advantage of this wonderful property of your brain. Now, all you have to do is mentally rehearse this imaginal act, and with enough mental rehearsal, the neural network starts to send a rush of chemicals down your body. These chemicals are very important because these chemicals are going to create feelings in your body that are going to be equivalent to whatever you have imagined. Your imaginal act signifies that you are now living a life where you are no longer afflicted with panic attacks, and everything in your life is wonderful. So you are going to feel the equivalent emotions of joy, gratitude, and empowerment and confidence, and all of these wonderful positive emotions. Now, these elevated emotions are the secret. These feelings are the secret of breathing life into your imaginal act. So the only thing that you must get really good at is becoming able to sustain these elevated emotions for a long period of time. And how do you do that? You become very proficient at holding your attention on the desired imaginal act and mentally rehearse it. Because as a person who is afflicted with panic attacks and anxiety, your attention is always going to go to the past traumatic experience or future worst case scenarios, and it is never getting just drawn to the imaginal act that signifies that you are free from panic attacks. But if you can hold your attention on the imaginal act that you're now free, that you can see wonderful things, you're hearing wonderful things, you're smelling wonderful things, you're feeling wonderful things, you're tasting wonderful things, and your life is completely wonderful, and you can mentally rehearse this imaginal act, you're going to embrace all the emotions from that imaginal act. And these feelings are going to send a magnetic charge to the spirit. The imaginal act is like an electrical charge to the spirit. It says to the spirit, this is what I want. And the feelings, these elevated emotions, is a magnetic charge that you send to the spirit. Now, you're drawing whatever you want to you. Now you do not have to go. You do not have to hustle. You do not have to sweat. You do not have to bleed. You do not have to compete. You do not have to be frustrated. All the things that you imagine will come to you. But it's not even about that. If you just learn how to feel all of these wonderful positive emotions, simply by closing your eyes and making your inner experience of thoughts, mental imagery, and feelings real, then panic attacks are going to naturally disappear. Because anxiety, panic attacks cannot coexist with the emotion of gratitude, empowerment, confidence, joy, and happiness. So all of these things, all of this imaginal act getting manifested into your three-dimensional world is a bonus. It's not even about that. It's about becoming able to sustain these elevated emotions, to create these elevated emotions, irrespective of whatever your external circumstance is. So do these 3 simple steps as soon as you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed at night. Why? Because these 2 are the windows where your brain is naturally trying to produce alpha waves and theta waves. So your subconscious mind is naturally trying to receive all sorts of mental imagery and feelings. So do not lose these two windows, and do this step at whenever free time you get during the day, because you need to get really good at becoming able to sustain your attention on the imaginal act, mentally rehearse it until you derive feelings from it. This is how you get complete freedom from panic attacks. View this world as a spiritual world. Use your subconscious mind to communicate with the spirit. Impress your subconscious mind with wonderful mental imagery and wonderful feelings, and you will come out so fast that people are going to think that you're taking some sort of illegal drug. It's not even a joke. So right now, if you have somebody in your life who is currently afflicted with panic attacks and anxiety, send them this video. It's going to be tremendously helpful for them, because I have given all the information in this video. But if you want to experience one-to-one online personalized coaching, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box down below and the pinned comment section down below. Remember, sky is the limit once you truly know how to relax through Yoga Nidra, imagine correctly, and feel the emotions of your desired imaginal act correctly. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.